Hi, my name is M.Tommy of Peace Ike Ministry. A very good morning to you and win today. Alright, I have a very interesting message I would like to share with you today about our spiritual parents. Many of us today, we have spiritual fathers all around. You will find the person preaching on TV and you like it and say, he's my spiritual father. You find another person preaching and doing, he's my spiritual father. You end up having like 10, 15, 25 spiritual parents. But that is not how it is done. All right? Your local assembly pastor may not be your spiritual father, may just be your pastor. And your spiritual father may not even be your local assembly pastor. I mean, the church you attend every Sunday, that pastor may not be your spiritual father. And your spiritual father may not be the pastor of your church. All right? So you must understand that when it comes to spiritual parenting, you have to be very, very careful. So for the fact that you attend church every day and your pastor is there and you think, oh, that is my spiritual father. It may just be your teacher, it may just be your pastor, but not your spiritual father. Because the role of a father is more than the role of a pastor. It goes beyond preaching. Let's listen to what Paul told the Corinthians in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 4 from verse 14. I am writing this not to shame you, but to warn you as my dear children. Even if you had 10,000 guardians in Christ, you do not have many fathers. For in Christ Jesus, I became your father through the gospel. Therefore, I ought you to imitate me. For this reason, I have sent you Timothy, my son, whom I love, who is faithful in the Lord. He will remind you of my way of life in Christ Jesus, which agrees with what I teach everywhere in every church. You have only one spiritual father. I mean, you don't just wake up one day and have a spiritual parent or have a spiritual father. It's something you should thoroughly pray about and be concerned about. Because whosoever is a spiritual father has spiritual influence over you. Is someone you should emulate, imitate, that direct you, that guides you in the things of God. There are many of you here that your pastor cannot cater for your need. I mean, your spiritual life, he cannot stand in the gap for you. Because it's not your spiritual father. If that your pastor was to be your spiritual father, he would have been there for you in thick times, in bad times, and in good times. That's what a father does. No matter how you offend your father, no matter how stubborn and disobedient you are, your father remains your father. So you must be very careful who you choose to be your spiritual father. As a matter of fact, you tune on your TV and you find a good preacher. It doesn't mean that preacher should now be your spiritual father. Maybe your role model, but not your spiritual. You should be very mindful of that word, spiritual father. Oh, you find another person that can prophesy well. It's not your spiritual father. But just be wow and love that man. Because whosoever you agrees and submits under that person spiritually has influence over you. And when you are choosing your spiritual father as well, you must understand the fivefold ministry. Firstly, the apostle, the prophet, the evangelist, the pastors, and the teachers. You cannot be an apostle and your spiritual father is a pastor. According to hierarchy. You cannot be an evangelist and your spiritual father is a teacher. You may just have that teacher as a role model or as a friend. It is these other people that submit to the hierarchy. If I'm an evangelist, I will have an apostle as my spiritual father or a prophet as my spiritual father, not the other way around. These are the things you need to understand while choosing spiritual parents. I believe I have passed the message to you and you promise you're going to share it. God bless you. I love you all.